It's Monday, and there's no Batwoman review. The series is over. Not only that, Ruby Rose has quit. Life is good, folks. Life is good. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. What have I done? What have I done to myself? Have I fallen out of the fire and into the frying pan? No, you fall out of the frying pan into the fire, don't you? I knew it was one at t'other. Oh boy, look. Saturday night, I did a very late stream. I was very tired. I've not been sleeping well. I keep getting memes of me now from people saying, do you ever sleep, Az? Because no matter what time of day it is, I'm there. I'm always there. Either doing a podcast or there's a video up or I'm tweeting out something. And it's becoming a bit of a meme that I never sleep. It's because I've had problems sleeping recently. So Saturday night, I thought I'd do a stream and I said I'm going to take Sunday off. I'm going to take Sunday off completely. And I did, and I slept most of the day and just took it easy, and I didn't come online and all this kind of stuff. Maybe sent out a couple of tweets later on, but that was it. But on Saturday, when I did this late night stream, I said I'll review the first episode of Stargirl, but that's all I can promise. That's all I can promise is the first episode. Well, I don't know how it's going to go. So you folks hitting that like button, commenting down below, you are going to set the precedence of whether or not I continue with this show. So with that said, before I actually get into the breakdown of it, what was it like? Well, the first episode of Stargirl was fine. It was fine. Look, not perfect. Yes, it's got a few issues here or there. But I thought as an introduction to the character, and I thought as an introduction to the series, it was not bad at all. However, there is a caveat, right? And the caveat is, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that this show is actually developed to go onto DC Universe. But the CW are also getting to show it as well. So it's going up on the streaming service, or it's being developed by the people that did the streaming service, but it's also being shown on the CW. There's something like that going on. Okay? So, in other words, it's actually got a production budget. And it looks like a television show. And I know that might sound really weird, but when you've been reviewing Batwoman, for God's sake, and you see things like Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow, which are embarrassing, it was actually nice to see a show that had a production budget. In terms of acting, I thought it was decent. I thought for the most part, there was one character which really stood out, not in a good way, which I'll get into. But for the most part, the main character and the family, her mother and her stepfather, were very good. The stepfather is Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson's brother, and her mother is Amy Smart. Amy Smart! The last time I saw Amy Smart, she was getting railed by Jason Statham in Crank 2 in the middle of a bloody racetrack. Took some time to recover there, Amy. But there was some supporting cast, which was okay. And like I said, there was one... I'll get to it. So production-wise, it looked good. Acting-wise, it was pretty decent. Direction, I thought was very good. I thought the direction of the episode was very good. I thought it was well shot. I thought it was dynamic. I thought that it flowed very well. So I had no problems with the direction of it. And writing-wise, Not bad, although there was some real lazy stuff in there, which I'll get to. But when I saw the writing credits go up, it was Jeff Johns. Now, Jeff Johns can write the shit out of a comic. When he tries, oh my God, that man is amazing. And by the way, we're brothers. We were born on the same day. And he does, however, seem to have a little bit of a problem with that transition from comics to television medium or film medium. He hasn't quite grasped it. So there's some elements in the writing which are very good indeed, and there's some elements that are real janky that don't quite pay off. But so all in all, I just knocked over my keeper of secrets. All in all, for a first episode, not bad. Not bad. But let's get into it, because there are some weirdy things, as always. So we start off Christmas time 10 years ago. And we've got Luke Wilson in this car. Is it a Thunderbird? Is it a Cadillac? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. My old-timey 1950s cars. And the special effects here are pretty decent in this manor house. And we see Wildcat get thrown through a wall and Wildcat dies. All part of the JSA, Justice Society of America. Now, you know I'm a DC fan, you know I'm a comics fan. I'm not massively au fait with the JSA. JLA, sure. JSA, little ropey. Now there goes Wildcat. See you later, dude. And then we're inside, and there's a big battle going on between the Justice Society of America and I think the Injustice Society or the Injustice League or something. And Luke Wilson plays Stripey or Stripes or something, who is Starman's sidekick. Now, all of them are getting annihilated. They're all getting taken out bit by bit. Starman comes in, takes a few people out, fights against the big bad guy with mind powers, but takes an icicle in his stomach from an Iceman-based villain. And then Owen Wilson gets him out, gets him in the car. Solomon Grundy they send after. I want to see more of Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy's a Batman villain as well. The car turns into a flying car. And then Grundy smashes the engine and it crashes into the woods. All of it, so far, fine. I'm actually quite enjoying it. Quite enjoying it today. This is where my first little happened. Starman's dying. Okay? He's dying. And he's saying to his friend, who we find out later in the episode, they've known he was 20 when he met Starman, who was 15. So they've probably been friends for a good 20 years. 15 years, for the show's sake, let's just say. Because they're meant to be a lot younger than how they look now, I'm kind of getting. And he's like, oh, this staff must be passed on to someone heroic with courage and all this, and Owen Wilson's... I knew I'd fall for the trap! Luke Wilson says, I'll do my best, and he's like, no, not you. And he's dying, and then he keeps saying, no, somebody that will uphold the... Blah, 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 blah. And then keeps saying, but definitely not you. Absolutely not you. And it's just like, dude, you're dying, and you're being a massive bellend to your best friend here. You didn't have to be like this. So I think he was attempting comedy and it didn't quite work. It was a bit like Starman just came across as a dickhead, and I didn't really have that much sympathy for him dying. So anyway, we jump 10 years into, well, we see a little girl who's obviously going to be Stargirl in the future, waiting for her daddy to come home, but her daddy's never going to come home. Because Daddy's Starman and Daddy's just died. We then jump 10 years to the future, and then here she is. And this here is a Christmas present that she bought for her daddy 10 years ago that he obviously never collected because he died, he did. And she's moving out of Hollywood. And they're moving out because her mum has now married Luke Wilson. Oh. So Luke Wilson's now her stepdad. She has a friend. Her friend's like, I'm going to miss you. She's like, I'm going to miss you too. Then we get the family traveling to the small, Nebraska, I think they're going to. The small town that coincidentally looks like the same town from Smallville. And the high school looks like the same high school from Smallville. Anyway, this is Luke Wilson's son. Now, I don't know what this is. This is the anomalous character, right? Because it looks like a 14-year-old boy to me. Okay? Wrong. I think it's a 40-year-old man. Acts like a 40-year-old man. With everything, with his body movements, with his expressions, everything's like, Jeff, did you just write yourself as this character? And it's like really weird. Really, really weird. There he is again. Hey, Dad, I'm just going to go down the pub, get a couple of bevies, have a smoke or two if it's all right with you. See you later, Dad. Don't wait up for me. You know what I'm like, crushing the pussy. Really bizarre character. Really weird-ass character. So there's Amy Smart, not attached to Jason Statham. God bless her. And this is their new house that they arrived to. Isn't it all exciting? And then he says, be careful with this crate. And you can tell by the size and length, ladies, of the crate that it's actually the staff. The Starman's staff. So they're walking down the street and everyone's been happy. This is a joke against LA where everyone's an arsehole. What are people doing? They're being polite. Oh, people aren't polite in LA. Hilarious. So they're going around the town. The daughter goes into the... we're not quite there yet. No, Luke Wilson's sorting out his old JSA stuff, and he's going through the files of the bad guys, and he's packing it all away, and daughter's not happy. She's looking out, there's new stars in the sky, or I don't know, something like that. It's just like, And she hasn't bonded with Luke Wilson. She hasn't bonded with him as a stepfather. She keeps giving him a load of shite. He keeps trying his best. And then they go to Smallville High School. And this is one of the parts I didn't really like too much. I liked the fact that it was a busy high school. What I didn't like is that you get all these she's so presumptuous at the start. Why isn't there a gymnastics class? Why can't I do this type of thing? And then when she goes for her lunch break, Owen Wilson's dad, by the way, gets a garage. When she goes, she mates up with a couple of mean girls. Hey, do you want to join the cheerleader squad? Oh my god, I'm a mean girl. And it's just like, come on. Do we have to see this a million freaking times? So generic mean girl, generic mean girl, generic mean girl. This person's a teacher? But she won't let her sit down with the rest of the school. She tells her to sit on the table with the rejects. Hi, I'm a reject. And then they're like... Then, typical jock comes to the table, starts calling this girl a slut, because it looks like she might have taken a couple of naughty pictures of herself, and they got leaked. So he's like giving her shit. Stargirl to be is like, oi, leave her alone. And then she pushes him, and he knocks into somebody, and she gets put in detention because. So she's all pissed off and moody and pissed off. 40-year-old boys at the time going, "Hey, Dad, what's for tea? It's like a ravioli. Oh, my God, back in the day when I was hanging out with Frank Sinatra, the ravioli, mwah, it was beautiful. Not as beautiful as the pussy I was crushing, though." Crazy character. I have no idea what this character is. None. Mental. Even Amy Smart's looking at me like, fuck me, that is a 45-year-old man. So Stargirl just decides to head down into the attic. Into the cellar. The attic's the one at the top, with all these fake cobwebs. Because there is decent production on this, you can tell that this is that fake sort of thing that they put down. They don't look like cobwebs whatsoever. But I giggled. Because they were trying a thing. Look, he's got fish. And then she finds the photograph of the JSA. And it's a really good photograph when you see it in its entirety. Later on, I believe. And then she discovers that Luke Wilson was Stripes. And then she finds the Starman outfit. And that activates the staff. The staff starts shaking. Shaking like... I'm not going to say that. No, I'm going to say it. Shaking like an epileptic at a strobe convention. I went there. I went there. And she picks up the staff, and the staff has a mind of its own, and it starts doing some stuff, and it's actually, the special effects are very good. I like the staff. This is going to come across so bad. The staff, the inanimate object, well, it is a little bit animated, but the staff has more personality than Ruby Rose's Batwoman ever did. Just saying. So she's like, "Oh, this is really cool. This is awesome." So she grabs it and it like starts chucking her out the house because it's got a mind of its own. And then it's like, then it starts doing some stuff that allows her to train, and it allows her to do some of her gymnastics. Set up, pay off. She wanted to do gymnastics at school. They didn't have a gymnastics team. The staff clearly sensed it on her and sets itself up so it can be a bar for her to do her gymnastics on. Whoever the stunt person was that was doing the gymnastics, very good. There was some really nice choreography with it. Then it flies off, and Luke Wilson, with her attached to it, wah! Then Luke Wilson goes down into the attic. I did it again! Goes down into the cellar and then realizes, the staff is gone and the gig is up in regards to who he is. So it flies her to this forest and it takes her to I don't know why, but it takes her through to well, I know why. It takes her to a drive-through. Because plot has to happen. So that's what I mean by just a little bit lazy. The staff took her to this so there could be plot. There could have been a bit of... Considering Jeff Johns set up the whole gymnastics thing, why couldn't he set something up for this? I don't quite get it. This is literally a plot needs to happen moment. So anyway, she sees all the bullies from school being dickheads, and they're annoying somebody in another car. So she uses the... staff to let down the air in the tires. Fine. I know you're going to say, "Oh, she's being a criminal. She's being a criminal. She's being a Batwoman." No. She's being a kid. She's being a high school kid getting revenge on the bullies by letting down the tires. That was her motivation. That's what she actually wanted to do. However, the kids notice her and they start attacking. But the staff, which has a mind of its own at the moment, fights back. And it ends up with one of them threatening to kill her. So the staff reacts by blowing up the car, which you can see on fire over here. Let me just zoink myself. Uh-oh. So it blows up the car. Oh no, she's a villain. No. The staff the staff is reacting to the threat. She didn't want to do this. And in actual fact, she's like, oh no, when it happens. So, yes, something bad happens, but it's not Batwoman bad where she kills somebody because she just wants to. It's a kid not having control of their powers, not having control over the staff, and the staff doing its thing. Okay. So she goes back home, and Luke Wilson's like, you can't touch that stuff. You can't leave that stuff. And she's just like, is Starman my dad? He never came home 10 years ago. You said the JSA died 10 years ago protecting the world. Starman's my dad. And he's like, look, go to bed, chill out, relax. We see the photo. Can I get it up? Ladies. Look at that. That's a great photo. So we see Wildcat. That is Scott. That is Green Lantern. Ooh. That is Green Lantern right there. There's the Flash, who you see his face is covered. Hawk Girl, Hawk Woman, Hawk Man, Dr. Fate, Sandman, Owlman, Dr. Midnight, I think. Not sure on this one here. But that's Alan Scott's Green Lantern, which I got quite excited about. And then not sure on this ethereal one. But it's a great photo. It's a great photo. And by the way, Hawkman looks awesome in his regular Hawkman outfit. And also Jay Garrett, Flash. Oh, brilliant. I just loved it. I thought that was a lovely little bit there. Anyway, so she goes to bed and she's just like, look, my stepdad's a dick. Or maybe no. She says, I'll try. He's not that bad. I'll try. So, typical bully whose car got blowed up just so happens to be the son of the big bad guy from the beginning of the episode. So he's just like, God's to your room, son. I shall do mind tricks. We get a little bit of plot. 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 And then we've got all these VHS tapes of something. Probably porn. So they go out for a chat, and this is where he reveals everything about being a sidekick and how it's a privilege to be a sidekick to JSA and Stripes. I know it sounds like a weird name, but Starman used to call himself the Star-Spangled Kid. All this kind of stuff. So they went through all that explanation. Then he calls up his bad guy friends and says, I think something's going on here. The staff frees itself from the cellar. I was going to say attic again. And takes her out on another merry adventure where she comes across, where she at first starts training on a rooftop. Again, some good choreography on the training. She fails first time. She gets it right second time. Starts doing some bits and the bobs, and it's all very good. I'm okay with all this. Then it flies off, but then she finds she's getting thrown about the place. Absolutely outclassed. She runs away, screams for help. I like this. This was normal behavior. This wasn't, I'm suddenly amazeballs, I'm great at everything. This was a person who doesn't understand their powers, doesn't understand what's going on, and is scared and frightened. Acts like a proper teenage girl would act. She then goes into this tire factory where the bad guy mentally drags her in. She doesn't have full control again of the powers, but manages to break away. Causes a big explosion, which allows her to escape, where she runs into a transformed Thunderbird. Thunderbird? I'm going to say Thunderbird. I might be wrong. And inside of it is... God's sake, come on. There. Luke Wilson. He's inside of it. So it looks like he's actually going to become part of all the posse. Because she gets the JSA back together with all her diverse kid friends. So, as a first episode, not bad. Like I said, it was decent. It was decent. I didn't have to stop it because it was horrific. I enjoyed lots of, a lot of the aspects of it. The school part, the typical, high school stuff was terrible. Come on, let's have a little bit more imagination when it comes to things like that. But the acting was good. Luke Wilson was good. Amy Smart was good. The girl who's playing Stargirl, she was good and convincing. And I'm interested. I'm sort of like, I could watch another episode and see where it goes. And yeah. It was alright. I would give this, if I was giving this a mark out of 10, and this is a normal mark, this isn't a Batwoman mark, I'd give this 6.5. It's decent. It was decent. Not wonderful. Not terrible at all. It was decent. So about 6.5, I'd say, out of 10. Maybe 7 if I was feeling generous. Should I give it a 7? I'll give it a 7. 6.5, 7. Between 6 and 7 out of 10. Depending on my mood. Let's just give it that sort of leeway. Let's just be a bit rating fluid for this first episode. Between 6 and 7 out of 10. It was all right. It was okay. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. Like I said, if you want to see more, thumb up, comment down below. If you do give this video a thumb up and comment down below. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.